let me start off by saying that LR Omega is actually very far from a bad unit, and a lot of the characters that I pulled up here aren't bad either. What makes this situation a little bit more frustrating is the fact that these extreme class units are always one or two mechanics away from actually being like, you know, top tier power in the game. LR Omega is very good, but I don't understand why it feels like they try their hardest to hold back the one thing or two things, sorry, these extreme class characters actually need to be on that, okay, best unit in the game level. And I'll tell you right now, I don't think every character in the game needs to be, or every extreme class release needs to be the best character in the game. I'm not saying that. But to have a string of just bad extreme class after extreme class character, especially when these characters aren't getting as much love as some other super class, like for me personally, I believe extreme class characters should be, especially ones like Omega, who this is his first LR in the game, like, you know, his standalone Omega. I feel like he should have been like the best unit in the game, at least comparatively to like other Carnival LRs, right? The reason why I say that is because Carnival, this guy isn't going to get the same love that someone like Super Saiyan 4 Goku is. So it's okay to have a good Super Saiyan 4 Goku instead of an amazing Super Saiyan 4 Goku, because we'll get one down the line sooner rather than later. But when are we getting another LR Mega? Probably never, right? So this is their time to really make him the best. And my personal gripe with him is how limited his like, you have to run a full GT bosses team to have this guy be really, really good. Like, his defensive stat is what? Is that 17k? Is it 17k? 17k is extremely high, dude. 17k defense with 200% defense. I mean, you know, and, you know, 200% to stats. You're looking at about, you know, again, I haven't watched any showcase stuff, but I'd assume hovering around 500k. With support, maybe probably a little bit less than 500k, around that 500k level, right, with support, which by itself is not good, right? Like, you know, I'm not gonna say it's bad. 400k defense is definitely strong. If you're in red zone, 400k defense is not great, you're going to die. But in most content in the game, 400k defense is good. It's actually very strong, but depending on where you are, right? Now, if you're taking this Omega into red zone, 400k is not going to cut it. Thankfully, he does have an orb changing ability, and he is actually getting a lot of damage reduction per rainbow orb. Sorry, it's 7% per rainbow orb. So, assuming you can get, you know, maximum 5 rainbow orbs, that's, you know, 7 times 5 is 35% damage reduction, and then you're getting, 7 times 5, yeah, perfect. And then he's getting key plus 1 and 5% damage reduction per GT bosses. So best situation, right, with a full team of GT bosses, so that's 7 of them, right, because it's still including himself. That's 35% from that and 35% from that. You're at 70% damage reduction, right, with 200% defense, really high. Like, that's good, right? 400, 500k defense, that's very, very, very strong. On a GT bosses team, Omega can cook both offensively and defensively. That's the issue, though. This team sucks. I'm not gonna pull any punches, dude. This team sucks, okay? This is not a good team. This is not, you can bring the best LRs and units on this team, and you're not going to survive, like, the toughest content without pulling some weird shenanigans, right? And again, there's someone out there that can probably do it, right? But it doesn't make this team good. It does not make this team okay to actually legitimately run. And the issue is that GT bosses just continues to get disrespected, right? I want to pull up just some recent units, right? Just recent units that could have been so much better. This guy isn't recent, but dude, come on, man. If he was just built differently, this team could actually been genuinely good. This team is like, it's not that it's frustrating, dude, that he is tied to a team Yeah, because you're not getting rainbow orbs that frequently. So he is tied to a team that's not good. Let's say it was GT bosses and Battle of Fate and transformation boost. When I say and, I don't mean like the effect itself stacks. I mean you get 1 key and 5% damage reduction per GT bosses or Battle of Fate or transformation boost, right? If you include, or just extreme class, you just do extreme class, he becomes just infinitely better, because now there's actual flexibility. But to see him be the best that he can be, you need a bad team, and that's frustrating because without GT bosses, right, you have no damage. My bad. You have 5% damage reduction for himself, right? And then a bad orb rotation, and you're at 5% damage reduction with 400k defense, you're getting one shot. And that's just, he's like, this guy is not bad at all. He's very strong, but only very strong when you're built with a bunch of bad units. And Dokkan is a team game, right? It's not like Legends, for example, where, I mean, Legends, you know, you can solo a whole PvP match with one character. And in Dokkan, in certain situations, you can get away with that too. But since you have 7 characters on your team, that all of which actually have to perform in game, right, or in the match, you can bring the best unit in the game. But if you have a weak link like physical Nova, you're going to get caught and you will die. So you're only as strong as your weakest link. Imagine summoning for this character, pulling them, you know, running a full GT boss team and getting one shot turn 1 because Oceanus got caught, right? It's just really unfortunate that Omega, we've been waiting so long for his LR just for him to be tied to a team that sucks. It's very unfortunate. You need a good team for a good character to look as good as they can be, right? And then we have this character here, and again, like, this is what I mean by all these characters aren't bad. Like all the characters I'm gonna pull up here, they're not bad. They're just examples of extreme class characters in recent time that, oh, by the way, we're so close to 60k, so consider subscribing if you're new. I've been doing subscriber challenges a lot, but if you want to do push-ups, feel free to. If you want to subscribe, feel free to. Actually, yeah, you know what? Quick subscriber challenge. If you're under the weather, then you can skip today's subscriber challenge. Trust me, I'm feeling, and I can't ask of anything if you're a little under the weather, okay? But if you're feeling perfectly fine, I need you to drop down and give me 8 push-ups, and bless you for feeling good. And yeah, so I'm sorry I had to come at you. I'm sorry. All right, I haven't done a subscriber challenge in a minute. Anyways, here we go. So Ice and Nova Shenron, again, they're not bad. Double orb changing is really strong. The thing with them though is that they're not support. This should have been a GT bosses support, 100% GT bosses support. It's like the one, like, they drop these banner units that support all these categories. Where's Baby? Did I pull Baby up? Yeah, it's like they drop these extreme class characters that support all the time as banner units, but when they drop characters that actually need to be supporting, they just don't give it to them. I don't understand, right? So, and I just spoiled the entire list of characters. I'll get to them in a second, but Ice and Nova having double orb changing is absolutely amazing. It sucks that they actually need the orbs to be good, right? Like, they have to, it's not that they have to collect tech, just regular key spheres, it's tech key spheres. But since they're not a slot, they're not designed to be in slot 1. It's just a terrible design overall. You put this character, yeah, you put this character in slot 1. They collect all the orbs that this guy created, and now they have no orbs left to do anything with. It's like, I don't know. Well, I guess to be fair, this part is tech key spheres. These 2 parts are not. But even with these 2, you're not, like, there should have been a GT boss support, and you should have been guarding with Omega on turn. That's how you make this character at least somewhat more relevant, right? And then I have LR Super Boo here. I'm not gonna sit here and say he's bad at all. His attack stats look really good. And you know, when people see, you know, high attack stats like this boost, then it gets a little bit deceiving as to like how good a character really is, right? But remember, defense is just the thing. And keep in mind that when you're watching these showcases, like these early access showcases, or these characters at their best potential, you don't take that as at face value, because more often than not, unless you're like a whale, or you've been saving for a while, you get really lucky, you're not going to be experiencing the character in the same way that you're watching. So you see Omega at 400k, 450k defense with support and all this and that, chances are you're not going to be seeing that when you yourself pull the character, right? You'll see maybe 350k defense. So are you link level? Because if not, your links and power will be a lot worse. So what you see from the showcases is not what you're going to get, which makes it so much worse, because why doesn't he have additionals in his kit? He needs dupes now. Like, he is a dupe hungry character, because you have to feed him. You have to feed him additionals. Until, I mean, you can, I guess, just get one shot, right, and then die, and then you get your revive. But I shouldn't have to summon for a character. Well, I don't have to summon for him, but I shouldn't have to use such a strong ability like a revive turn 1 just to activate his ability to perform additional super attacks. He should have had something in his kit to allow him to do that. It's just annoying, right? But Surubu, again, he's good. He's just not, like, you know, like, it's crazy how they dropped this character and then, like, LR Bulma released. Like, what is this character to LR Bulma, you know? It's just, again, it's just unfortunate. And then you have Dr. Wheelo, like, I get that these characters have these flat passive stuff, but come on, dude, like, come on. Like, he could have been a support. It's okay, Dokkan. He could have had some type of really unique, strong ability, especially for a character who's, like, for a character who is not going to be good for pretty much ever. Maybe when we get to DZA, like, you'll be all right, but it's just unfortunate that Dr. Wheelo, who no one wanted, is as bad as no one wanted. Does that make any sense? Dr. Wheelo, man. Yeah. It would have been nice for him to be really good free to play unit, right? It would have buffed the 100 teams he's on. Power of wishes. Okay. All right. Anyways, I mean, do I have to go, like, bro, like, really? Like this could have, you know, honestly, if Omega was well, not Omega, but if this character was, like, good, or I should say better, then like, I don't know, it would have been interesting to have actually run a GT bosses team, and just have good characters on it, right? Like, this character's not good. This character, and again, this character, they're like a few, like, one thing away, 2 things away from being really, really strong, a few changes from being really strong. And this character's not bad at all. Their supporting is really, really nice. The fact that they're not on GT bosses is just, I can't understand it, right? You have the smallest characters that are on GT heroes, even though they're not, like, main heroes, but the villains of GT can't be on GT bosses. Like, for what, dude? I don't get it. Again, not a bad character by any means, but not, like, top tier GT power. But doesn't matter. He's not on GT bosses anyways, right? So who cares? And then Frost, final form. I mean, okay. And then Baby, dude, Baby should have been this banner unit. Baby should have been, I wanted him to be the best. I wanted Baby to get a character, just Baby by himself, for, like, the longest time. And the fact that he's just raw stats all over the place is extremely upsetting, right? I mean, he has the guaranteed to hit cool mechanic, which is cool. If you're facing a specific enemy, he can crit as well, so it's definitely cool. But we need some. Where's the damage reduction at? Like, where's the guard against a pure Saiyan or hybrid Saiyan enemy, you know, or super class? Imagine he just guarded against super class. I mean, again, it wouldn't be that crazy because Red Zone is mostly extreme class, right? But still, it's like he would have had some utility in certain events compared to just, I don't know, man. And then, you know, you do have your really good extreme class releases this year, right? Piccolo Jr., I mean, a goat amongst goats. I even consider Physical Turles to be, you know, top 5 extreme class, like, no, just top 5 maybe TURs in the game, period. like T Wars non-EZ8, of course, non-EZ8 T Wars. I think he's actually really good. And again, Dokkan hits like with certain extreme class units. Dokkan does a really good job with them, but it feels like most extreme class units just don't get the love they deserve, and it's frustrating when most of these units are 1-2 things away from actually being, you know, something that we can actually legitimately run. And then, you know, I believe the baby EZA was actually pretty good too. Let me just scan through this. This is really good. These are really good. Yeah, I mean, again, baby's not bad, right? I mean, he probably looks a lot. I haven't watched any showcases yet, so, but again, like, he's not bad at all, right? He's definitely gonna be able to help out the team, I guess. But GT Bosses is still a long ways away from being legitimately like good. And Omega was like the saving hope for that team. And he's a character that you have to run on the team. Like, even if you were to run Omega on like a really strong leader skill, or like a real, like, let me see, he's on powerful comeback, so you can technically, right, run Carnival Goku and still get Omega as on like another like really strong 20% leader skill, right? So when it comes to this category, who are you linking up with Omega? Oh God. Okay, you get it? Okay. So, anyways, it doesn't matter. Like, extreme class characters, because like, okay, let me explain this. We're never getting another Ice and Nova dual character. If we do, I mean, hopefully they actually. I can see another one happening, but probably not. Are we getting another unit like this we've been asking for such a long time, man? Probably not, right? We're never getting another Dr. Mew and Dr. Jiro, man. Like, this could have been, if you are a character who's never coming to Dokkan again, you should be like top tier. Like, come on, man. I don't know, dude. I don't know. I don't know. It's just, GT Bosses deserved better. And I think I made a video recently on the channel talking about like categories done dirty or something, and I believe I talked about GT Bosses, right? Where's yeah, most disrespected categories in Dokkan, and I spoke about all their mishaps and everything that they should have done better, and then they dropped that one character that everyone's been wanting, and he needs to be on that team. I don't know. He should have been like a GT Bosses, like 3 key, 60% support. Or he should have been like Kid Goku, where he collects orbs and gives all allies like damage reduction, like 30%, because why the frick not, dude? Like, you're all getting one shot anyway. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Omega is good, very strong, but he's too restrictive and doesn't have enough in his kit to make him one of the best in the game. And listen, if you're a Super Saiyan Goku, you can afford to be mid, because we're getting another one next month, right? But if you're Omega, if you're some of these other extreme class characters, it's like you either show up or you never again, you know? And it's just frustrating. So hopefully you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. Sorry for the long chill rant. I don't know what to call it, man. But I'll see you in the next one. Take care and peace.